What are some of the significant scientific studies that hard math have done around the human heart?
Well, it's certainly a large body of research now after 30 years of it. Let me just say real quick, Nathan, the reason we got involved in science was when we were introducing a heart-based system into an often unheart-based world. We knew we had to create an approach to heart that was a little bit different. That it wasn't that people didn't know about heart. If you ask somebody about heart, they'll tell you that they know about it. And when people point to themselves, they point right here to their heart. They have phrases all about heart. And so it isn't that heart was unknown, but it kind of been written off as emotions or something that was weak or sweet or sentimental. And we didn't see it that way at all. But we needed to be able to build a reliable bridge between the inner feelings people had about heart and modern life, 20th, 21st century living. We chose science to be that bridge because science has a lot of credibility. So if we could begin to show scientifically that what had been said about heart was really true, that the level of belief and acceptance of heart could go up exponentially. So in the early days, we began to research the physical heart. What is the physical heart doing? Well, we know it pumps blood. We know it's the most amazing blood pump ever. But what else might it be doing? And it was interesting that we found little pieces of research out and scattered through the research literature that in essence was saying that the heart appears to have a mind of its own. It acts differently. It doesn't respond logically to external stimulus. It actually seems to be operating in a different way that we didn't expect. As we dug a little deeper and began to do our own studies, we actually began to understand that the heart was an information processing center in our bodies at the physical level. It sends information to the brain and throughout the entire body. It does it in several different ways. There are fields of study that we didn't know about that actually existed, like neurocardiology, which studies the nervous system in the heart, which is a very complex part of our nervous system, and other ways in which it communicates energetically, hormonally. And we found that, that heart was essential to how we were as human beings at the physical level, that brain function, for example, is critically dependent upon the signals it's getting from our heart. So this was some of the first discoveries that we had, and we began to publish that, and we began to develop an understanding of a discipline called heart rate variability analysis, which could decode this communication. And that research started to get published. And the first major published study we had was 1994, I believe it was, in the American Journal of Cardiology. Very prestigious journal. And when that research started to come out, all of a sudden people began to look at heart a little differently. Now, the physical heart, understanding the physical heart and its communicative power, was now beginning to explain what we had said about heart for thousands of years. That in fact, what had been said all those years was true. And science was building that bridge for us. So that research has expanded and expanded and expanded. Today, if you go to our nonprofit site, we have HeartMath LLC, which is where I'm an executive. We also have a nonprofit, HeartMath Institute. If you go to the HeartMath Institute site and you click on the research tab, you can stay busy for a really long time. There's lots of different research hours, third-party research, collaborative research on a variety of subjects, from heart-brain-body communication to the energetic connectivity with the earth itself. So a lot to be looked at there if you're into science.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating, the work that you've done over the last 30 years and how it's validating what our ancient ancestors somehow figured out thousands of years ago. We were briefly talking offline. I study a form of Qigong called Wisdom Healing Qigong with Master Ming Tong, who's here in the West. And a lot of the work of Qigong, this ancient practice of Qigong, is connecting to the heart, grounding ourselves in our body, really slowing down the body's subtle movements. And there's a lot of heart kind of meditative and visualization practices that are part of it. And through hard math and the work that you do, you've been able to really validate this ancient wisdom into a modern science and help people to heal and experience more peace and fulfillment in their lives and so much more, which I think is extraordinary and important in our current day.
Well, I think is important, then what do you do with the validation? And that's where the rest of heart math comes in. It's a lot more than science. It's tools, techniques, methods, really very valuable practices that can be used individually and collectively to bring more intelligence, more awareness, more efficiency, better health, those type of benefits into all kinds of aspects of life. The science built the bridge to understanding and validity. Then the validity had to be taken into application. And to me, that's the real strength of heart math, is the application that we've been able to provide for people to make life just better. We're going through extraordinarily challenging and interesting times. Change is everywhere. How do we navigate that change? These are the kind of things we focus on in helping people use what they already have inside to navigate life with more poise, more ease, and certainly more grace.
We hope you enjoyed this short excerpt from the Health and Healing Club. This entire video, including an in-depth discussion and thoughtful and inspiring questions and answers, is available inside the Health and Healing Club, along with hundreds of hours of premium and exclusive life-changing content, practices, and holistic, natural, and integrative solutions for health and healing. You can start your free trial today at healthandhealingclub.com.